Okay, so I think I'm gonna do the karmic coward father video, and I might focus on some music. I want to write down also in detail about my manifestation. But okay, right now I think I need to I want to be able to be organized about my point, because I feel like the karmic mother, the wicked karmic mother, the karmic wicked mother, the wicked karmic mother, anywho, um, was a little bit like kind of rushed, because I was saying that my spirit were hunting me down. Like I'm telling you, like the inner conversation, like they were going on, and of course my higher self was participating, but it's like you just imagine you at the gym and you're just like, that's right. That's a good point, that's a good point. You know what I mean, having this conversation on your own. I mean, externally it looks like you are on your own, right? But like everybody talking and everybody's giving a point. That's what I feel sometimes when I go to bed, and I'm like, I'm sleeping but I'm not sleeping, and I know it. I know that God and my angels, my spirit team or like spiritual team are like working on me, but it's like I can hear like there's a console. Is it a console? Like a meeting, like everybody's talking and make a point. And you know it's funny, because like the way I see it when I am actually experiencing, I can feel that my higher self is such in a position that I am not in, that is completely different from where I am in the 3D. Because I feel like I speak with authority, I speak with like, it's different, like the tone is different when I speak with them, you know. But then I woke up and I don't remember, but I know something happened. Like I know they've been working, like we are working, they are working, we are working together, but I have no idea what was the conversation about. And I feel like the conversation come when it comes at the as a download. um yeah, like as a download, and I'm like, how do I know that? It's like, you know, a little bit how the Holy Spirit works with me, and I love it. Okay, so I wanna talk about a few points about the karmic coward father, and um how his energy taught me a lot about what I've manifested, how his energy got manifested in a lot of my relationships with the opposite gender, so men, like romantic relationships. And I think I want to focus more on the man and woman energy, and how the feminine and the masculine energy were, I don't know if I want to say distorted on both sides, but let's say that it was exercised in a different way on both sides. So from the men, when I show up as a woman with an ability to execute anything, because this is what I've been doing all my life, taking care of myself, you know, like what I want to say is that I always gave the opportunity to the men to be in their masculine energy, right? To see if they are going to act like what they say they are. And I never battle with a man, and I never is it emasculate a man. I never done that. Like I don't do that naturally. I just don't. It's more like I will observe you, and I will just observe you, and I will see how you move. I will gladly let you take the wheel, and until you drive me into the end of that cliff, thinking that we're just gonna jump off and sing kumbaya together. This is when I take the wheel and I jump out of the car. Okay. But this is usually, you know, my ability to let the man be the man, because I've been looking for it and I've never experienced it in when I grew up, and because the the first father masculine energy in my life, my father, was just a coward in every sense of it. Like every time I needed him to save me from my karmic wicked mother, he never took the opportunity to do so, despite the fact that when I find the strength to actually talk about the abuse, he just looked at me and said nothing. So for those who already watched the wicked karmic mother, so I don't know if it was so much energy. So, and I'm sorry again because I feel like I spoke for 2 hours. It was just crazy. But what I've learned from her, it's, and what she did to me was very particular. It was more to target my self-esteem and the way I see myself, my value. So it was all about dismissing me, all about ignoring me, all about telling people lies about me so people look at me differently. Put herself into a victimhood. Like it was all about making me doubt about who I am, because if I doubt about who I am, I will doubt about my gifts, I will doubt about my intuition, because these people, these narcissist people, especially a mother, they're very sneaky and manipulative. I've been saying that women are the most wicked being for me. When they are in the lowest, they could be the wickedest being ever, because a mother can either choose to emotionally manipulate you, or she can also make you feel like that you're now worthy in a way that will translate in your relationship. So her attitude and her abuse made me made me see myself as someone that is not worthy in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like I will overgive, because she made me she made me try to earn any type of validation, any type of love. This one was never an emotional person. She never played the emotional card, like try to be effective and then take back this affection. She was never that type. She was more like, I don't see you. And the only time she would kind of like reward you for helping her, it would be the peace that you get, the fact that you probably not gonna get hit, you're not gonna get slapped, you're not gonna get anything abusive, you know what I mean, physically, not emotionally for her, but it was emotional to me. It was mostly playing with my mind. Her was about playing with my mind, playing with my perspective of myself, and how people and play with people's perspective so they can see me differently. Do you see? Because the goal, when she was doing that, she was gaining more power spiritually. She was getting stronger spiritually by just ignoring me, dismissing me, and acting like whatever I do is not worthy. And for example, I remember like when I was like probably like 7, 8, we had like a party for a summer party before the closing of the school, like before going to summer vacation, right? So every summer before like we leave the school, we have this little, like a party. Everyone is involved. There's like different games, and you can also like perform. And me and my friends, we wanted to perform. And there was this new girl in my school. She was brand new. She came like in the middle of the year. And she told us that in her last school, she learned a dance, like a choreography, and she said that we can probably use that to perform. And we were like, yeah, cool. So she taught us all the moves and etc. We were all prepared. So when the time came, when we're supposed to perform, what happened is that the cassette, so I think we call it cassette, those little like I think it's cassette, right? I think I'm saying it in French, but like the music tape, the tape was not working. So what happened is that like the teacher gave me the mic so I can be the one singing the song and then performing. But I was like, hell no. So I gave the mic to the girl who actually taught us the dance, the choreography. And so she was the one singing the song because she knew the song. It was the same music, the same song that she danced on. She knew everything. So for me, it was more. It made more sense to let her sing the song, and I performed with the girls. So after I was done with the performance, everybody was clapping for us, blah 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 blah. And then my mother was there, obviously, right? And the first thing that she said, she said, "Ooh, who is this girl that sings? She sings so well. She's so cute." She complimented this girl in front of me. And me, I'm a child. I'm like 7, 8. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see the sneaky thing, but years later, this is where I was able to like kind of see like it's like, I mean, this woman, she's been doing all this, like dismissing, ignoring me on purpose for long, since the beginning of the beginning. And so she kept complimenting the girl, and that's to tell you how like completely like this went over my head, of course, because I'm a child and I don't know the sneakiness of it. I was like, oh yeah, this is Jasmine. She's the one who taught us to dance. She's so nice. I was just like, I was with her. I was like, yeah, let's compliment her, because we just performed, everything went kind of well, and we got all this applause and it was nice. You know what I mean? But that's what she was doing. That's like keeping compliments, like dismissing me, acting like I don't matter, but at the same time always needing me, because I was always the one cleaning the house. I was the one helping my siblings getting ready, getting them to school, washing clothes, everything. Like there was nothing I couldn't do. And that's the thing, right? And she even hated me and hated the fact that my siblings had respect for me. And she used to say, y'all think Nina is your God. And that's to tell you the mentality. She seeks so much for power that all she sees is someone. She think of me trying to have power, to be powerful. And because she knew whatever she knew at that time, right? So this is where for her, what she taught me in so many different sneaky and wicked way was to destroy my self-esteem and the way I perceive myself, so I can slowly hide. And it's a process. It's something that is slow. It's every day. It's in every kind of way. And like I said, like every little moment that I could get to have a little bit of peace, a little bit of validation, I will take it, because I was cheap. I would take anything, anything to have a little bit of peace. And of course, as I grew up, it got even worse, because I'm becoming a woman, and I became like a little bit rebellious, because you develop more discernment, and you seeing stuff more clearly, right? Even though it's so not obvious, and that's what she was playing on, and she loved that. So her way, she was like she was my first handler. Do you understand? Like trying to control my life, and at the same time make me perceive things the wrong way, and make sure that everybody else outside of myself look at her like she is such a good woman, such a good mother, you understand? And that's how much time she was spending on pretending. She will like be so nice with my cousin. If I had cousins coming in my house, she will take them out. She will take them to Paris to go see the Eiffel Tower. She will take them to the restaurant. She will do things that she never does with us, and in particular with me. Okay, it was always about competing, always trying to make me feel down. And I remember another occasion, the last time that I saw her, it was in New York. So the last day I saw her, she actually hit me, because she was literally lying about me in front of the stepfather, the con artist. She said something that was completely false, and I looked at her and I said, you really shameless. And at the moment I say that, she got up and she punched me in the face. Like it was just the face, like she just hit the face. And mind you, I am taller than her. I could have just literally like slapped the shit out of her, but this is not in me. Do you understand? Like, I'm not like that. And I know she wanted that to happen, but I let her do it. I let her hit me. And it was the day I was supposed to go back to where I live, because I traveled, to come see them, to go see them. So this is where this for me was the final time where I realized that she was never going to change. Like, she pretended to be this back to religion and wearing the hijab whenever she wants, and just married this, like, whatever imam who calls himself a imam, most likely a voodoo priest, or voodoo, I don't know how you call it, like but someone who think that they're powerful, because they've done things that probably worked before, right? But here I come. Here I come. And it's like challenging the way you think, challenging the way you see someone being truly protected by God, and also challenging your position, your position with God, because God tested him also. You know what I mean? He put himself into a position that he wanted to help me, and I took him openly, because, like I said, I'm already coming. I'm lucky. I'm so lucky. I have mother issue and father issue. Like, I have a mother handler and a father handler. Do you understand? So it's like, the girl is blessed, with a lot of problems. But my point is that I received him because I believed him. I wanted to believe him. And this is what my father taught me about myself. His cowardness, in different situation, made me realize a lot of different things in relationships that I had in the past, and how I was able to get out of it, like, right away, once I recognized something. Like, once I recognized that I was with someone who's not brave, someone who wants their ego boosted, but are not willing to give, or not willing to let their ego aside and actually express their feelings. And I always made myself an example. I always sacrificed myself to show people you can do it. It was never for me. They took it as me begging, but it was never the case. It was me trying to show you that you can do it. And once I realized that you're not willing to do it, and I see that, I'm like, you don't want to be here. You're not here because you don't want to be here. You are trying to find any type of excuses to not be here, because you don't want to support me. And this is where this started with my father first. Okay, so like I said, she was targeting my self-esteem, and him, it was more emotional manipulation. He was trying to groom me to be someone who's going to take care of him. So he didn't want me to have big dreams. I remember him telling me, if you know how to read and how to count, you don't need to be like, you don't need to go have higher level of education, or have you know what I mean? It was always like trying to put me in the box, because in his mind, he's grooming me to take care of him. And I'm gonna tell you how. So let me tell you about, first of all, how everything shifted from my mother being my handler to my father being my handler. So when I was finally able to get out of her grip, I think I was 23. So what happened is that she started slowly, like, she get to this moment, those moment where she's trying to look for problem, right? Like, she provoking me because she thinks that she got me under her control. So I remember I stopped going to college, because this is what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do that anyway. When I graduated from high school, I wanted to go into a year of a pause, because I just wanted to travel. I wanted to go to America. I just wanted to do me. But I lived in her house, and it's always about her and what she wants. This woman was never willing to talk with me, and I'm a very simple kid. Like, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to be complicated or to add more. You know what I mean? So that's why there was a lot of people who were like, when I started talking about the abuse, they were like, but what did you do to her? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what can I possibly do to her for her to go to that extent? Like, I don't understand. It's like, my simple existence is a problem. It's just not, it's not anything else. It's like the fact that I exist is a problem, but at the same time she cannot kill me, because she kind of need the energy to harvest from my energy, and that she can only do if she keep misguiding me. This woman never sat down with me and tell me what a woman is, what should I be careful of. She was never like, I've never had any type of feminine guidance in my life. I learned the hard way. I learned with my own wisdom, myself, my own discernment. You understand? And I avoided a lot of complicated situation because I was obedient to that voice, to God, to that voice within me. You know what I mean? And when I wasn't, I saw the result. you know. So, but this woman like was just not, she was just not that. But anyway, back to the story. So when I was able to get out of her house, it started first with her asking me for rent money. So mind you, we live in the hood. This woman get half of her rent paid by the government. When I'm telling you, the rent is like 300 euros, something like that, because I've seen it. One day she left for Africa and I was the one who was in charge of like going paying the rent, and I saw the amount and I was like, what the fuck? She's not paying shit. She's getting all this benefit. She's not paying shit. And mind you, this was the type of woman where she will buy stuff for her and buy nothing for us, and especially me. Okay, we used to have like a big what was like a closet, like in a hall in the apartment. It was a long one too, and I promise you, I kid you not, every is a drawer. Anyway, everything was filled with her stuff, her shoes, everything. And we had a little corner of our stuff, like probably 2-3 shoes for each of us. We were 3 at the time, that then like 4 when the last one came. But you know what I mean? It was like small. And I remember joking around about it, like, you're not even like damn, like we don't get nothing here, and she laughed because I was funny like that, you know what I mean? But it's like I was making it as a joke, but I was serious. Like I'm showing you this shit, right? But anyway, so that's how she was very selfish. Everything she will gain, it was about her. It was about showing the outside, making sure that people think that she's all that. Mind you, we live in a fucking hood, and she probably we changed her the design of the apartment so many times. So many times I have to be the one painting the wall, helping to make the floor. Like I'm telling you, like doing the furniture, because there was no man staying. So I had to learn how to fix stuff. I always knew how to do stuff because I had to figure it out. There was no man to help us. And when there was a man to help us, the man was never going to stay. This woman had more than 6 marriages, and this is what I know, But anyway, so back to the story again. I'm trying to give like a little bit of context in everything. So it's so many things that this woman done. So it's crazy. So she started coming with this like rent issue, like she want rent. And I'm like, at that time, I think I was working at the market, like in France, it's like the equivalent of Target. I think I would say it's the equivalent of Target because it's pretty big, and they have so many of them. And so I was just a cashier, and like I don't make much, and you know damn well that you're not paying like 1,000 euros of a rent or anything like that. It's just to provoke me, right? And I tell her I don't have anything. Like, she was like, okay, well, if you don't have anything, well, you're gonna have to leave, something like that. And I thought, oh, say no more, because for me it was like, oh yeah, right? But in her mind, she thought I was still this little scared girl, that because in her mind she had control of me, right? She doesn't know that I'm waiting for that opportunity to get out. She put me out of the house many times before, like for no damn reason. And I have a very good example where she did it, and it was so evil. We went to one of her friends was getting married, okay? So we went there, like we celebrated with them, and the party was, it was getting late, and I wanted to go home, and she was over there flirting with a guy. I don't know, she was already tipsy. Alcohol was already there, right? So we got into the car, Mind you, she's already okay. So I had, like, she was driving. While she was driving, she started like mumbling stuff, right? And I already know, I felt the energy because I'm already sensitive, and I can feel when something is gonna go down, but I'm staying calm. And we arrived, she parked, and as we walk, she's mumbling stuff. She's mumbling stuff, and I'm not saying anything. I'm just walking right behind her, not saying anything. At the moment we get in front of the door, she opens the door, she enters and slaps the door at me. Mind you, it's probably like midnight, 1 a.m. We just got out of a wedding. I'm in this blue dress. It is cold. And she slapped the door. I already knew this is not the first time. So I sat at the stairs, because it's like a building with 10 floors. So we had the first floor, and the first floor is not the main floor. There's the main floor with 2 apartments too, and we had the first floor with 2 apartments, right? So I sat there. I kept knocking at the door, thinking, like, hoping that one of my siblings are going to open the door, right? And of course, she threatened them not to open the door, because at some point, like, one of my siblings just like got up, and and I heard she doesn't want us to open the door. Mind you, it's not the first time. So I'm staying there, cold, just sitting there and just waiting. At some point, I went and I knocked at the door, thinking like she's gonna cool down and she's gonna eventually open the door, right? So I knocked at the door again. She opened the door and she threw water at me, and they closed the door again. So I'm all wet. It is cold, and I'm still here, not understanding what I've done, what I said, nothing. Just our pure essence, wicked, evil self just coming out with the alcohol. The hatred that she has that I have no understanding of is just here. So eventually, probably around 6 a.m., finally, she opened the door, and that was it. So that is many situations like that where she would just pull me out. One day she even pulled me out, and my neighbor, who was from the same country as us, that I call auntie, right? She pulled me out, and then so I went downstairs to my auntie, and I explained to her, and she was like, okay, we're gonna wait until she come down, and then I'm gonna go talk to her. So we waited a few hours, and then we went upstairs together, and she started talking to her, like, what did she do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she tried to calm down the situation, right? You know what she said? She said, why are you helping her? I don't want anybody to help her. I want her to be outside and to suffer. She said that in front of this woman. And everybody's questioning me, what did you do? What did you do to this woman? I don't know. So anyway, back to that rent she's trying to get from me. So she's thinking that I am not going to go anywhere, right? So eventually, I'm getting ready. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bounce. My father called me, because every time she put me out and I found a place to go, my father will call me and tell me to go back. Do you understand what is going on? Do you understand the power play that these two are playing with me? Mind you, I'm holding on to my father because this is the only person that I think I have that knows what is going on. I'm not questioning yet why he's not helping me. I don't understand, right? But I'm holding on to him because of trauma, because of survival. So he calls me and tell me, like, Nina, listen, she's not gonna change. Like, she just called me, and the thing that she's saying is a bunch of stuff. It sounded like he didn't even want to go into details. He said, if you want to leave, you can leave. I'm not gonna tell you anything. When I tell you, I jump out of that bed. I called my best friend at that time, and because she had a driver license already, right? So mind you, I was 23, 23, 22 or 23, because I left for America when I was 24. So yeah, I think I was 20. I was 23. So I called her, and she lived like probably like 30, 35 minutes away from me. And I told her, listen, girl, can you come pick me up? And like I'm gonna leave the house like right now. And when he calls me, she left to go somewhere. So she has absolutely no idea that my father called me and told me, like, kind of give me his blessings, because I was so, like I said, attached, and I was holding on to him because I thought he was my only family at that moment. You know what I mean? The fact that he gave me his approval, because many times when I was able to find a place or to be out, he will come and tell me to go back, like I said. And it was never fair, and I would go back despite the fact that I didn't have to go back. But like I said, it's the fear, that was still like a fear to disrespect, you know what I mean, the only parent that I think I have on my side. So when he said go, it was it. So yeah, so my friend came to pick me up. I just took all my stuff, and I remember calling an auntie, and this auntie used to be the my mother's like best friend, until she did something to her that was crazy wicked. Like I mean, like crazy wicked. And we don't even have time for this, because I really want to try to focus on the father thing, but it's gonna all come together because I was supposed to be prepared, but like, listen, we are here. So my friends come to pick me up. Before that, I called my auntie and I told her what was going on, and she was like, listen, she was not talking to her anymore, right? And she was like, listen, come live with me. I don't care about what people say, come live with me. And my auntie, this one, she was a Virgo. I need to say that she was a Virgo. She was a high vibrational Virgo for me, very nurturing. She used to tell me, like, when you wake up, act like you go to work and come to my house so you can sleep. So we used to leave like probably like not even 10-minute walk, you know, to our apartment. So every morning I will get up early just to leave the house so I can actually sleep, because I couldn't sleep for a long time. And this is even something that I struggle with, because rest was something that was not given to me. It's like if I looked like I was resting or not doing anything, I will be like bombarded with like anything she will find. She will come and she will, you know, come in the morning and get the blanket out of me and tell me to get up and go do her dishes. She will purposely dirty the house, leave stuff. When she will cook, she go in the kitchen and it was like the apocalypse in the kitchen. And of course, who's gonna clean? Well, Nina, the maid, is here, so I'm the one cleaning, right? Cleaning after everybody. But when she got in visitors or guests, she would be the one like cleaning and acting, like putting essence and making look like she's all proper. And all of it was a play. All of it was an act. So anyway, when my auntie told me, you can come live with me, like come live with us, don't worry about it. And mind you, she has like a even smaller apartment. We live in a 3-bedroom apartment, right? She lived with her husband with three small kids, with only 2 bedrooms. But she was that woman. She was that woman that will help whenever. This mother really, this wicked mother, she really lost the best for the greatest best friend she could ever have in her life. But jealousy. She was a married woman for a long time, was trying to have kids. Anyway, I'm not even going to go there, because the story between them, it was crazy. But God showed himself, man, and give justice to this auntie like big time. But anyway, she told me come to my house, and I was like, okay. So my friend dropped me to her house, and this is when I got away from this wicked mother. And this is when I never went back, right? And that's when I was in France before I moved to America. So that was my final thing with like my being able to get rid of my first handler, without even thinking that I was just like going into the hand of another handler. My father, the coward one, the one who knew and never tried to save me, never stand up for me. And that's something that always happened in my life, I always had to stand up for myself by myself because I never had anybody defending me. Even when I was bullied in school, in elementary school, I had to stand up for myself by myself. When, like, so many different like time where when I needed him, for example, to come and help me with school. I remember when I was in high school, so I had a really bad year. Like I said, I'm struggling with a lot of things at the house, and then I have to go to school and have good grades. And sometimes I was just passive. I was just exhausted, you know? Like, I'm talking about many times I would go to school, even when I was in elementary school, you know, she refused to pay for the canteen, the cantina, you know, like when you eat at school, you have lunch at school. So I was supposed, because our school was close to the house, so like 3 minutes I will be at the house and I'm supposed to eat there and then go back to school, right? But she would never pay for that. So, but when I would go to the house, she would never be here. So most of the time I would go to school without eating, and this become like a something that always happened. High school, middle school, elementary school, middle school, high school. It was like something where I will probably eat just once a day, and it became even a habit when I came and I moved out of France and came in France. Like, I've noticed, you know, when I left France and I left them, I thought that I left everything behind, but it was not the truth. Everything got more clearer. The way I was programmed in the fear and those traumas, the way I thought of myself because of because of the way they treated me, really came back to me to haunt me, and I had to face everything. And it was really like a process, a long process. Like, people that I meet kind of like started something, and it was like dark night of the soul, and then another one, and then before you think like you can breathe, it's like you back to the water again. So yeah, it was very interesting. Like, so even early, it was not just being dismissed like in just behavior. It was, I was not taken care of. Like, I was not eating. I was very skinny when I was younger, and people even used to think that I was in some type of diet or stuff like that, you know, like in middle school, like or a high school. Like, I was like a girl was like worrying about my diet. And I used to have uncle and aunties saying, oh, you be careful of your diet. And they don't understand, it's not because I was not just used to eat more than once. It was just, the woman was just never at home. And I remember I will have like a neighbor who will see me waiting for her for like 30-35 minutes, because you only have 35 minutes to eat and then leave and then go back to school. So I would go to school with an empty stomach. Even in middle school, if it was not for the grace and the kindness of certain of my some of my friends in like the class, like a classmate, I would not even eat. And some of them, I remember them, Anne Sophie, Monica, and shout out to all of them, because they don't know what they did. They don't know that the fact that they were like, oh, Nina, come, like, I want you to come in my house and come eat with me. They don't know that they gave me the only meal that I was going to have like all day, you know. And that was something that was happening all the time. And this is a touchy thing for me, because when I see a child like who's like 5, 6, 7, and even like a young teen, and you look at them and you just okay with not feeding them, and purposely, like, you're not there when you're supposed to be there. It is crazy. It's just crazy. But anyway, so she was mean like that, okay? So I used to be very skinny, and my auntie, when I used to go, you know, before I left my mother's house, she would tell me to come, you know, at the house so I can rest and also eat. And I remember her one day, she was like, she looked at me, she said, Nina, and we can see your bone, like your bones, like your you know, your spine. We can see all your bones. And I didn't even notice it. You know what I mean? Like, I never even noticed it, because it was just a norm. So she will always try to force me to eat. This woman will buy like, she was always that, you know, that auntie that always have food in her fridge, and people always go to her house because they know they're gonna eat. She was that woman that was too kind, and people were taking advantage, and I hated it. So I used to go to her house and I will help her with the kids. I will cook, I will clean for her, because she always treated me fairly. She always trusted me with her kids. She never put her kids like before me or trying to act like, you know what I mean? She was never that person. She was always supportive, like big time, you know? She allowed me to stay with her. She never asked me for money. She would do anything to make me confident. And she was good to me. So I stayed for a year. I was able to get my driver license because I didn't want to leave for America without having my driver license. So once I got my driver license, I remember her. She was so happy for me. She cried. Anyway, so once I put some money, aside, it was not a lot. It was probably like 1,000 something, and then I moved for America. So, but my relationship with my father, and I'll come back to my father. My relationship with my father, like I said, I thought he was the only one that I had, right? And he was preparing himself to leave to retire and go back to Africa. So because of that, I think that's why he was like, you know what, if you find a place and you can go, just go. He was going to leave anyway. And when she came out with this nonsense of like rent, blah blah blah, and he knew she was full of shit, he just kind of gave me that relief and that blessing, like, go, right? But by doing that, he created like a power play also, because now it's seen as my savior when I was a grown-ass woman already. I'm already 22, 23, right? But the fact that I depended on them, they created like a codependency, make me think that I cannot do anything without asking them. When I always been independent, I always been very careful, I always been very wise. It's like these people will make you think that you're the one that is naive, gullible, who don't know what you're doing, because you want to have advice from them. You want them to help you. So they take it as, oh, let me be the God. You understand? They never take it as, let me be careful, let me guide her, let me give her all the tricks and all the things so she can move accordingly. Never had advice from my father about men. All you said, I remember saying, I don't want you to marry this, and that's it. You know what I mean? But her never advised about womanhood. Like I said in the first video, the first time I had my cycle, it was like, when I said that to her face, and I said it by asking her to buy me some pads, it was like I said something. It was like I start a cycle of her having to do intensive witchcraft was going to start, because I'm being a woman, so my rebellious nature, because I rebel automatically when something doesn't make sense to me. And let me give you a simple example. So when she was that same best friend that she had, they were already not talking, right? So I was outside and I came at the house, and there was like her best friend, my auntie's little girl. She was playing with my little sister. Okay, I came at the house. They were already here playing. Nothing wrong about it. You know what I mean? Like, the kids, you know what I mean? They were playing together, the kids. When my mother was out, when she came at the house and she saw that little girl, she knows who this little girl is. She knows this is her ex-best friend child. She chased that little girl away. Mind you, this little girl was like probably like what, 4? Like 4, 5, 4. Little girl playing with my little sister. She chased that little girl away. This little girl went to tell to her like a mother that what happened, right? Mind you, I'm in the kitchen. I didn't know nothing about that. She came to the kitchen and tell me, why did I let this little girl in the house? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, she was already there and playing with, like, so I didn't do anything. Hear the story. At that time, I had a best friend that was living just next to me. She was also a neighbor. And I stopped messing with her because I heard rumors about her. And you know, when you live in the hood, everything is about your reputation and protecting your body. You don't want to have a reputation of being a slut, and you definitely don't want to be the type of person that people can bully. So people have to know that you that girl, and you ready to go to the mud and whoop some ass and defend yourself if you have to. And you definitely don't want to be that girl that is, her name is in every guy's mouth, that you are easy girl, that you get in the basement in every building. You don't want to be that girl. That's the two things that you protect when you live in the hood, especially when you come from African immigrants, and mostly like with like those who are like Muslim, with a Muslim background. Everything's about your reputation. I had a big brother, but I had a big brother that was not a big brother because of his condition. So I was automatically the biggest sister, the more mature one, right? So the thing is that even with not having like a big brother to look out for me and making sure that I don't have my name running, I always had automatically this mindset: do not play with my name. Like, don't play with my name. And I will never be associated with anybody who's go down like that. So I heard some rumor by another friend, and I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And it was like, you see, that's the thing. Like, you defend this girl, but you don't know what she's doing in another side of that city. And I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, Nina, like, you don't know. Like, she goes down, she do some weird shit, and people think that you're the same. I'm like, no. And I need you to understand, I was not that girl. Like, I was not that girl that go around. I was not that. You will never hear anything about me. But people knew me, but they knew that I was just not that person. Like, you will always see me hanging out with my friend, at the porch, at the building. Like, I was never hiding anything. Even my male friends, my best friend, male, like, they will come talk to me at my door, like in front of her, because I was just not someone who was sneaky, So anyway, with this best friend, I completely stopped this friendship, because when I heard that shit, I was like, like, now your mother is thinking that I am the one who's taking you, because she was from like a Christian family, like with a mother that is probably kind of like strict. Do you understand? And mind you, when I go and knock at her door, and her mother is looking at me weird, acting like, well, she's not here, like she's supposed to be with you, and I'm like, I don't know where she is. Like, I thought she was home. This girl was somewhere else doing whatever, you know what I mean? And her mother is looking at me like I'm the one who's being a bad influence, because she thinks that her daughter is like this Christian like model or whatever, because she's such a strict person, in general. So when my best friend Mel told me that, yeah, like, her name is going around like that, for me it was like, oh, hell no. And I made it very clear, because I'm that person. Like, I don't care. Like, I will let you know why, and then I'm not going to argue with you. There's not going to be a back and forth or a conversation. It's going to be like more like, hey, I don't feel this. I don't play with this. I wish you the best. And I'm the type of person, I can still see you in the street and say hi, because I'm like that. I really, when I'm done, I'm done. I don't care. Like, it's not, there's no beef between me and you, unless you're trying to, unless you have a beef in your mind, but you're not beefing with me. In my reality, there's no beef. So I will still say hi to your mother, of course, and I will still say hi to your siblings and whatever family, cousin, friends that you have, because I'm like that. Like, I'm not gonna mix anything. So keep that in mind. This is how I am, right? But the wicked mother is not even close to that level of integrity. So she's telling me like, well, your friend, well, you don't talk to her. I'm not gonna talk to her too. And mind you, this is a grown-ass woman who's telling me that, well, you don't talk to this girl anymore, so I'm not gonna talk to her too. Like, so I should do the same thing. And I'm like, that's a child. I'm like, I'm not like you. I don't do stuff like that. Why would I ask you to not talk to this friend because I don't talk to her? The beef is not between you and her. So I am the kid who's actually let her know that, you know how stupid you sound right now. And because of my delivery, and mind you, I'm from the hood, it was back then, and I'm very sharp and very clear. Like I'm not. It will only sound disrespectful when you have a big ego. But if you understand the words that I'm saying, you know I'm making sense. So I make sense, so that's a problem. It comes from me because I'm younger than you, so that's a problem. You know? And then I really deliver like, what are you talking about? That's another problem. So before I even take a breath, she slapped me. And then that was it. I went. I kept doing whatever I was doing. I was trying to serve me a plate of spaghetti that I cooked, and I kept serving myself this plate, and I move on with my business. You know, because that was just another day, another day. So that's whatever she was in. Like she was really in this mindset. That's to tell you how she never had like any level of integrity. So for him, it was for me, his integrity was lacking because he was appearing as someone that is like a man who's a father figure. He works hard. He's a truck driver, so he woke up at every day at 4, 5, go to work, and his house is very clean. He knows how to cook. He taught me also how to be a better cook, right? With him, it was more order. Like it was a more cleaner person than her. She's very all over the place, and it's a complete different. And me, I was more inclined to his side because naturally that's who I am, and that's what I'm doing anyway, living with her, cleaning, cooking, taking care of the house, right? Being the adult that she refused to be, but she portrayed to be in front of everybody else. And him, it was also that it was portraying this masculinity, this like knowing what he's talking about, but it was coming from someone that was hurt and never heard before. So to give a little background, he also was born in Africa, Mali, and immigrate in France also early, probably in his early 20s or something like that, and was married to my mother that was very young too. So he groomed her to be this wife, but he groomed her with like a very distorted kind of masculine energy, right? Like I said, the displaying of of masculinity that is more forceful and more controlling. You know what I mean? Like you do what I have to do, but also have no level of integrity because he's also a cheater. You know what I mean? You also have kids outside, you know what I mean? Which created a lot of problem between them. And I'm not even going to go there because these two were just not compatible. They were very toxic. But I know something, that he loved her. He wanted this to work, but he wanted to work his own way. That's why it was a problem, because she was already rebellious, and the only reason she got with him it was because she wanted to come back in France. She was never attracted to him, and this is something that he knew. That rejection made him very bitter. And I remember when I would go and spend the holidays at his house, I remember when the wine would go down, he would start having those eyes, like this red eyes, this deep thinking eye where he would think about her. And I know this man was so jaded, like he would only focus on the negativity, you know what I mean? And he had this obsession with trying to tell me about her when I used to defend her. You know, as a child, like I say, in survival mode, every time he would bring some little things negative about her, I will never believe him. But more I was growing up, and more those abuse was getting like serious and more like deep. This is when I started like listening more, right? And this is when I started having proof of the fact that he had custody of us until we were 18, that she really abandoned us. She left when I was 10 months old. Like she really left, and he had to figure it out on his own for a while until he sent us to Africa with his second wife. And the wife that, like I said in the first video, the wife that he had to marry because it was like something that was promised before he met my mother. Do you understand? So that was already a problem, a lot of layers and problem. So for me, what I've understood with his story, and I'm with whatever I've understood in my own discernment, his problem was the fact that he was never appreciated for what he's done. And also because of the lies that she spread about him being a crazy man, him kidnapping us when it was not the truth, when she's the one who left, right? But the fact that everybody ganged up on him and no one appreciated him, that was the problem. The fact that everyone was seeing her as the sane one, and everyone was every time, like I said in the first video, auntie and uncles used to tell me every time they would see me, was like, your father. This is the first thing they will always tell me, like to kind of roast me, you know, like your father is a crazy man. Your brother is a crazy man, huh? When we rescue you guys, you and your brother from the village, you look so dusty. You look like you were nothing. You didn't even speak one word of French, because mind you, when he had to send us in Africa, I was very small, because he really tried to handle it for like probably two years, and then he was like, financially it was over for him. So just imagine, it was never appreciated. Then also like the grip that she had on him, because he really loved her, but he never got to have, you know, her the way, you know, he wanted her, and she never wanted him. So that rejection and the feeling unappreciated, and then in his family being scapegoated too by his own family, and all of that, do you understand? This created a lot of bitterness in him. So I can see that, and I'm not excusing is the way he emotionally kind of manipulated me. And I'm gonna bring some example of that. I mean, the last interaction that I had with him when I was like, I'm done with you. So also I wanted to give a little bit of background about him. The layers of bitterness that he had about the world, the things around him. I feel like personally that this is someone that was always very inclined to spirituality, very knowing, but no one really listened to him. And he felt that not being seen, despite the fact that I know he had a level of intelligence. Like my father was very intelligent. Do you understand? And he never went into the high school. No. And I remember even him having like these beautiful writings. He used to have like beautiful writings, right? He was very organized. Like I said, he used to write down the budget of the babysitters, the budget of everything. He would send money to us back when we were in Africa, to his brother, to take care of us. And of course, we never really received that money. But you know, that's African for you. But do you understand? It's like, he was very organized. He was very intelligent also, but he never really got in his full potential, and I feel like he felt that resentment. That's why he was trying to limit me, not think about big things, because he felt that if I was going to go that high, I would leave him. I will see who he is, and I would eventually leave. And this is what is going on with them. The dynamic with them is like, they're really trying to make me stay into their hold in a different way. Her, because she was getting from me spiritually, and him, he was trying to groom me and preparing him to be someone who's going to be a caregiver, someone who's never going to leave his side. Do you understand? Like, he was settling things, trying to plan things, to put things in my mind to make sure that I stay here. You understand? So, okay, so a little bit of background. So my family on my father's side, they used to be animists, and I explained that in the first video. Animists are people who believe in that everything has spirit, everything carries spirit. A rock has spirit, tree has spirit. They believe in spirit. Do you understand? So when Islam came and converted everybody in the village, his family also got converted into Islam, and they all were giving like a Muslim name, and he was giving a Muslim name. And he always like had resentment about this. Do you understand? Because as soon as he left Africa and he went to France, he changed his name and converted to Christianity. He saw himself more as a Christian, right? Because at least you can drink wine and you can eat pork, and he's gonna do all of that, okay? But Muslim was coming with too much restriction for him, and tradition that was already a fact, or that was already going on in in his family side before Islam came, and he saw that as like, when he saw his father converting everybody and forcing everybody to convert, he saw that as a betrayal. That's how I felt like, because I remember when I found Islam, for me it was a natural thing. I was never forced. On my family, on my mother's side, my grandfather was always like a very pious man, but he was never an extremist. He was a very tolerant man, a very calm man. I remember my grandpa always wearing white, always having a chaplet like in his hand. Do you understand? This was a very graceful man. And when he died, and he died at my birthday, when I was supposed to celebrate my birthday, we were actually having to do the funeral. And I remember after his death, every year at my birthday, I felt like something bad was happening to me. It was just crazy. But anyway, that was her rituals or witchcraft stuff. But like, I got into Islam not because of being forced or because of anything. It's because when I was 15, I started, the abuse and everything. I didn't understand why I was there. I didn't understand why I was in this life, why I was there, and why I was surrounded with mean people, and why there was so much abuse in so many ways. I just didn't understand my existence. And one night I was in my bed, like every night, thinking, because this is something about me. I want to understand. I want to understand everything. I want to understand what is going on. So I was starting going into this like deep thinking and asking questions, and I literally fell into a rabbit hole about existence and everything else. And I started like panicking kind of. And this is where I heard read the Quran. So I was like 15, 16, I think, and I hope I am not wrong, because I remember having the first Apple phone, the 3G. And when I heard read the Quran, like literally, this is what I did. I downloaded this first app that was for Muslim. It was Muslim Pro, and they had the Quran rating, so you can read in every languages, and you can also listen to the audio. So I would listen, and I would read, and I finished the whole Quran in probably like few days, because I became obsessed with it. And all I came out, when I finished the whole book, my whole conclusion of it was that I'm actually loved, that God loves me, like God loves me, and he doesn't want me to be in despair. He wants me to be happy. And literally read that in the Quran, because there was a verse that I remember stopping, and I was like, this is the first time I realized that I was loved. That there is a higher power that actually loved me, and all he wants me to do is to come towards him, make that effort, ask. And it was it. It was it. Because younger, I always looked up, but I never gave a name of it. You know what I mean? But now I had a name, Allah, and Allah means God, okay? Because like I know a lot of people don't know about Islam, and they think Allah just means God in Arabic. So for those who doesn't know, you know what I mean? Because I'm hearing a lot of bullshit, and I'm not religious anymore, but I understand the words of God. You know when the frequency is of the divine. No matter the book that you read, you know when it's coming from a high frequency, a high vibration, from unconditional love, from when it's Christ-like consciousness. You know that it will hit you in the heart. You know it's unconditional love, right? So I fell in love with God, period. And so I started praying, right? So I remember when I would go to his house, and he would see me praying. I will see the bitterness in him. Like, oh, God, Allah is all the same. It's all the same thing. And before, when he was telling me, I was like, ugh. But he was always right. But people were not ready for the way he was thinking. Do you understand? He was a sharp thinker. But people who are in like Muslim with their very close-minded minds, they will take everything for blasphemy, but at the same time they don't even know God. And I feel like he knew that, but he was not understood. So he let his environment, he let his scenes really take over him. Because like I said, he was also a cheater. He was a womanizer. He had different children from, he got married 3 times, or I don't listen. Anyway. But for him, like I said, back to him, it was all about controlling the distorted masculinity, right? And it was shown in his cowardness. And for me, why I say cowardness, because when you come and buff up and act and cosplay, like you're playing cosplaying like a father figure, and when I'm giving you the opportunity to be a father and you let me down because you have created responsibility, and you made these responsibilities more important than me. For me, it was seen as cowardness. Do you understand? Like, do you understand what I mean by cowardness? You decided to... I hope I'm making sense. That's because I really meant it. Like, this is the word that I want to use, is cowardness, because I've seen this cowardness in every relationships that I had. People staying in their ego, staying in the physical, the fear, the matrix fear, now willing to fight for the people that matters, people who help you. And mind you, when he decided to go in Africa to retire, I will take the 2 trains, buses, walk to go to go pick up his mail, pick up whatever he was asking me to do all kind of stuff for him, things that he never done for me. But like I said, back then it was survival mode. He was the only one, so for me it was pleasing him. And this is how I saw myself pleasing men, like making it easy for them all the time, doing my work and doing their work. And every time I would give them an opportunity to be the man, they will always end up disappointing me. And the first man that ever disappointed me was my father. The first woman that ever disappointed me was my mother. The first person who ever betrayed me, mother. The one that ever betrayed, man that betrayed me, my father. Do you understand? And that translated in every one of my relationships, friendship, every time. And I was forced to see those patterns to really save my life. With her, it was really about seeing all the traits of a narcissist, and also being able to stop the witchcraft that she was doing on me. And witchcraft is also spells, is the words that she was saying that I believed, that I accepted as the truth. And that made me an open wound that would allow all the witchcraft and anything that is just even speaking and dismissing me and calling me names and telling me that I would never be anything. That's what she was saying the last time I saw her in New York. You will never be anything. Look at you. If you don't work, you don't eat. Look at you. Look at you. You are nothing. I already lived my life. I'm already married. I got nothing. Like, I'm saying that for you. Like switching the roles, like projecting her own issues on me, the truth about who she is on me, telling me that I'm the one who have a dark heart. And I remember one day she said that. She was saying that so many times that one day I called my best friends, when I was still living with her. And I said, I want you to be honest. Like, I really want you to be honest. And you can tell me the truth, and I will change. Like, I will do what I have to do to change. Do I have a dark heart? Like, am I a bad person? My friend, bless her heart, Emilia, she said, Nina, you need to stop listening to your mother. Like, you need to stop listening to her. You're none of that. But it was hard because those are the things that I've heard all my life. I've never heard any compliment. Even people, like, I'm talking about, this was translating even in my relationships. Because and I'm going to do a separate video to describe more of the relationships, because I want to focus on the father and what I was able to see because of what I've been through with him, and how I was programmed to be groomed to just accept whatever, the distorted masculinity, the cowardness, like the fact that they don't have to show up for me, but I have to show up for them. I have to be the one doing the most, and it's okay, it's acceptable, because they are the man, they're the leader. And it's so funny because like I said, I don't mind I will let you show me. You know what I mean? I will let you show me that you are the man that you say you are. And this is like later on as an adult in my relationships, until you show me that you just about to kill all of us, like altogether, right? And when I take back the lead, this is when I show them not what a man is, because I don't play with that. I'm not a man, I'm a woman. But I will show you what leadership is. Because for me, leadership is just an energy. Okay, it's not gender specific. Leadership is not just for men. Leadership is an energy that you embody when you need to embody it. Do you understand? When you have to execute it and do things, this is when you have to take this leadership, you have to take this action oriented. And we all do that, right? We all capable of doing that. So once I saw that they are not showing up as, like, they're not taking the opportunity that I'm giving them to show me that they are who they say they are, once I take that energy back, I am no longer, it's like my own energy shift. I'm no longer the whatever image that you have of me, this like soft girl. I am that. But I'm also someone who doesn't play when it's time it's not the time to play. Do you understand? It's like, I will save my life. I will save myself. Don't even get it twisted. Like, I will not even hesitate or stutter. And this is when I shocked them. I shook all these men, because they were sitting down comfortable thinking, oh, she's gullible. I can do whatever I want. She's going to stay right there, because my father was like that. And I'm going to go back to when we actually, I actually was like, yeah, fuck that. But these men, when I take back the wheel, and I show them how real organized leadership is, they always like shook, and all of a sudden you see their spirit going, because now I'm seeing who they are, who they were hiding. Because when they get with me, it's like I say, it's like they doubt themselves. It's like they doubt themselves. Like, they always have this doubt and that insecurity because of whatever they perceive when they see me, and that's on them. Okay, for a long time I was taking the guilt, and downplaying myself, because I'm trying to make everybody's comfortable about an energy that I'm not even exploding. Like, I'm like, literally, it's me chilling, and somehow whatever you guys are seeing, and sometimes I laugh because I'm like, this is y'all. I'm talking to my ancestors. I'm like, this is y'all. They're scared of y'all, because because I'm here chilling. I make it easy, and because I want you to be comfortable. I'm the type of person you will be comfortable with me, because I'm like, you can tell me things. People are so comfortable telling me stuff because I listen. I truly listen. I truly want to understand. I literally look at humans like, I say humans, it's just so very I'm detached, because I have to, but I also know how to be here. I'm here, heart to heart. Like, I really truly understand and feel you, but I never had this reciprocity, and but like, when I shift my energy to this masculine energy, and I take charge, and I finish it, it's done. It's like, I don't hesitate. It is done, because it was already done in my head. I already know how I'm going to execute this. I'm just looking, and I'm just observing you, and I'm trying to figure out if you're going to get it right. And then when you're done, I'm just like, I got to go. And sometimes I will stop and I will read you to filth, because I have every right, because not only you disrespecting me, but on top of that, you really thought that I was going to just go on with your bullshit, and you don't know that I actually gave you like so many times, so many chances to show me, and I was just very patient, hoping, because that's what I do. I look at your higher self, and I stay there, and I don't accept what is the truth. Do you understand? Until my life is being threatened, until like it's about my livelihood. And this is when I'm like, yeah, nah, you got it twisted. Do you understand? Because now you trying to be the God in my life, and I be them. And sometimes I had to remind people, like this man, people, men, and sometimes some of them were like even older than me, but the fact that I had more wisdom, because what they don't understand is that they were not supposed to be my guide. I was supposed to guide them. I was supposed to teach them things, and I did it. And at the same time, I thought I learned my lessons, and I took whatever I could take, and I moved on with it. Do you understand? But they were not understanding that. They were not understanding that it was an opportunity for them to grow. And then my presence was, I was never there to stay forever. I was just there for a little season, for you to learn your lesson and for me to learn and to confirm and affirm what I already know, because I am your guide. I'm guiding you. You cannot guide me. And at the moment you get this ego boost that is kind of blinding your perception and your understanding of the situation. When I take back and I make it clear, now the fog is gone. And all of a sudden now you seeing my face, and now you think that I was being deceiving by just wanting to let you take the lead. You will think that I was the one being deceiving, like trying to hide a side of me, when it was not the case. Why would I be the man, and why would I be a masculine when you are supposed to be that? Why would I do that? I'm trying to chill. I've been trying to chill. That's why every relationship that I had no problem with them being the man. I remember a relationship that I had, it was the longest relationship that I had, serious relationship that I had. And I remember I went to see this person in Africa, right? It was a long distance relationship. And I remember that time things was not really well for him, like financially. And I remember when I went, it was a surprise because I wanted to know if this was the right person. You know what I mean? Before I leave for America. But I remember just this little time where I had money with me. I had money, a lot of money. But I didn't want him to feel inadequate. So I gave him the money. I gave him the money that I came with. So when we will go out, it doesn't feel like emasculated and I'm the one paying. Because I had to understand. I understand we all go through things, you know what I mean? But I never wanted a man to feel less than a man. That's why I always gave them an opportunity to be the man. And unfortunately, they failed because they were not ready, because they were hiding behind insecurities and acting, displaying like they are the men when they are not. And when I peep the game, what you need to understand is that I'm trying to teach you the energy of leadership. I'm totally capable of taking care of myself. And this is what they're always trying to take away from me. The fact that I always know what to do. And the fact that, and it's the fact because you always come to me and ask me for shit. And I am the one who was like, they were able to kind of make me forget about that. That's why when I separate myself and I let them go, all of it needed to come out in the light, because I was just not aware. Like I was not aware because of my own insecurities that were built because of their attitude and the way they were treating me. So like I said, like I can show you how to take leadership, but I would never pretend to be a man or act like a man. I would never be masculine in that way. You know what I mean? Masculine. Never done it. Like I just don't do that. I don't have to. But what I would try to teach you is real leadership and integrity in it. And they failed because they failed because they were always meant to fail, because we were never meant to stay in the same path anyway. These people were always meant to fail with me. You understand? I was just here for the lesson, and whatever you were able to take from that experience, it's on you. I've done what I need to do. I've noticed that there is no love, so there's no respect. So I'm not there. Like I'm not supposed to be here. And this is where I shook these people. And I know I shook my mother, the karmic mother, because I hate to call it my mother, like I'm telling you, you have no idea. This wicked woman, and the coward father. Because when I took back my power, it shocked them because they were always so sure that they had me, that they had me. But what they never understood is that I never liked to be controlled. And that was always the problem. My mouth, like I would say some slick shit because I'm making sense, and I'm trying to show it. You know what I mean? But anyway, so the last time, because it's been an hour already. So the last time I split with my father. So what happened is that at that time, I was still in contact. So me and my mother were back in contact, but I was in America, okay? So 5 years later, after I moved in America, we kind of got back to contact. This is when she married this new young guy, Himam, that called himself a Himam, a man of Allah, a man of God, a man who wants to help, wants to guide, right? And she seemed like she changed, right? So like I told you, like I met before, and it was before I met her in New York, before I completely was done. What happened is that I got hospitalized because I had to remove my appendix. And this is a pain that I don't even wish on my enemy, and I don't even wish pain on my enemies in general. But this appendix pain is no joke, okay? And I didn't even know it was appendix. Like, I was by myself at the house. My roommate traveled at that time, and the pain started. Like, the pain started, and I thought it was like probably my cycle, so I just stayed, like, just suffer through it, right? Breathe through it. And that's what I do a lot. It's like, even when I feel it, that's why I have a high tolerance in pain, because I got slapped, I got tortured mentally and spiritually so many times, and I had to save myself with just the strength of my mind, like just holding on to God. And I swear, just holding on to God, like having very evil thoughts that were not mine, that was projected to me, being able to, like I'm telling you, and just having the strength to just speak the words of God, even in my mind, in dreams, so many times. And I will go probably in detail with that in another video. I don't know, like, I'm just being obedient. But so I was going through this pain for hours and hours and hours, and God made my roommate call me. She called me, like, just to check in. And I was like, Tina, I am not feeling good. And shout out to Tina, because she was the best and the greatest roommate I ever had. Clean, kind, respectful. I had an amazing time living with this woman, I swear to God. Like, we had this whole house for us, and she was just the greatest person for me. Greatest roommate I had. And she called me with the grace of God, and I was like, Tina, I don't know what is going on. I'm in pain. So mind you, I don't want to go to the hospital because no, like, no. And at that time, you know, like I didn't have my documentation, and I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna cost me. I didn't want to have any problem, you know. I didn't want to have any problem. And she was like, Nina, I'm gonna call my friend, because she used to have a friend that live just not far from where we were. She was like, I'm gonna call her. She's gonna go pick you up. Don't worry about anything, but you have to go to the emergency, right? Because she knew I was scared to go there, because I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to be rejected. And I don't know. I was just scared. Like, the one thing when you come in America, you don't want to be sick. You don't want to be sick. You don't want to deal with none of this stuff, okay? You want to be as healthy as possible, because these bills, okay? So the friend finally got to the house. She had to find a babysitter for her kids. God bless her. She let go of everything, her kids, and she had adopted kids too, like foster kids. Let them run to the house to come pick me up. So my bedroom is the upstairs, right? And when she knocked at the door, mind you, I'm in pain. Like, the pain was like getting worse. It was 6 hours of pain. I have no idea it's appendix. I'm going through it. I started turning like completely gray. And I was vomiting, but I was vomiting nothing, because I had nothing in my belly. So I literally, I crawled downstairs, the stairs, to the door to open the door. She picked me up, put me in the car, drove me to the emergency. Now, mind you, emergency is the worst thing that you can possibly have. These people don't give a damn about you. For hours, I stayed in emergency crying. I was the only one in the emergency room that was crying. That was loud as fuck, because the pain was crazy. And they were not even paying attention to me. So when it was finally my turn, this is when they told me, okay, your appendix was, you know, it's about to burst. So we're going to have to, you know, get you a surgery the next day. So anyway, you see the story, right? So after I was done, I stayed 3 days at the hospital. For a month, I couldn't drive. I couldn't go to work. I didn't go to do nothing. And this also was an opportunity for me that was given to me, because you have to make lemonade with lemons. When life gives you lemons, right? I hated the job where I was, because the energy was getting very negative. And I will go into more details into another video about friendships in particular that, you know, that was kind of toxic. But anyway, yeah. So So I got surgery, like I said, for a month. I couldn't drive, couldn't work, and everything, right? So at that time, I was still in contact with the mother and her new husband. They were very supportive when I went to the hospital. We're gonna pray for you, blah 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 blah. Right? When I think about it, I know this fool was probably like, but anyway, because anything, any pain, the bliss, the bliss that she feels when I am in pain is very wicked. So after a month, I was able to I changed work and I was able to get another work, and I was completely healed, whatever. And I was also in contact with my father, right? For a moment. So he didn't know I got surgery or anything, because I didn't hear from him at that time when I had surgery, right? And when I couldn't work too. One day I'm at work, this man called me and talking about, mind you, this man never asked me what I'm doing in America, what kind of work I'm doing. No one is asking me how I'm doing. No one ever asked me what I'm doing. They mostly come and call me to ask for money. And because I was always willing to give money to help, because like I said, again, this willingness to help, to always there to help because I can, to help because I have enough, because I think I have enough, right? And because I always know that God is going to provide. Until God was like, I'm gonna cut your money, because like you don't understand. But anyway, he calls me and never asked me about how I am, nothing. So you already get the energy, right? And he's like, I want you to buy me, mind you, I want you to buy me an SUV. Like, like buy me an SUV, and so I can, like, he's in Africa. He's already retired. He's in Africa. So me, who's actually right now working at the gas station in the hood in St. Louis, Missouri, who just got out of a surgery a month later, who herself is driving 94 Geo Prism. My first car, the first car that I bought with my own money, okay? I myself is driving an old car. I am taking care of myself. Nobody's helping me, okay? Nobody is even trying to help me or trying to tell me, like, ask, like, if I need anything. And you will be there receiving retirement money every month, doing whatever in Africa, whatever you are trying to do. You haven't heard from me for a while. You didn't even ask me how I'm doing. You are telling me, oh, my darling, my dear, like my baby girl, I want you to buy me an SUV. Like, just imagine. I was just like, yo, I'm behind my register. I'm dealing with a lot of people who are not nice. And you asking me for a car, and not just any car. You want an SUV, so you can what? So you can drive over there acting like a hot daddy and run after women. And mind you, I sent him money before too. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm done. So I let him know, you don't even ask me how I'm doing. I just came out of a surgery. I was not working for a month, meaning no money. And you asking me for an SUV? You're not asking me how I'm doing or anything like that. And guess what was his answer? He said, because I also say, yeah, because at that time I thought the mother just became a new person. She got this new person. She acting and sound like she's a whole different person, right? And that was before I met her, like I told you. I say, and my stepfather and the mother, they didn't know what was going on with me. They were praying for me. They're asking me how I'm doing. But you are, at the moment I say that, ooh, it was over. He said, and this is what he always said, your mother, abandoned you when you were 10 month old. Like I've done everything for you, you know, like the guilt trip. And he used to get me with the guilt trip before, and I would come and apologize. This is why I say for him it was the emotional manipulation, okay? But also never showing up for me. Like I was never important. It was never an important matter when about me. And sometimes I even feel like they had like a secret deal about doing that to me so they can have a hold on to, like, you know what, if it was not her, it was him, you know, because despite the separation, she still had a hold on him. She still could try to have get something from him, not money, because he's a very greedy man. Is it stingy? No, stingy, sorry, stingy man. But she could manipulate him because of, you know, him wanted to be accepted by her, like wanted to be wanted from her, you know. So when I told, like, when I saw that message, I didn't reply. For me it was like, you still in the past, and that's how I saw it. You still bitter from the past. I just told you that I had surgery, that I didn't work for a month. And instead of telling me, are you okay, or calling me, because everything was by text. No, it was by text, right? Because I said call. No, everything was by text because I was at work. Sorry. So for me, it was like this man again, this hurt father who making me pay for something that I didn't do, making me pay for failed relationships. And this was something that also happened in my life. I got cheated on because the guy I was with was cheating on, and he was a girl that he really liked. I was mistreated by men because of the women that mistreated them. Like I had to pay when I've done nothing. I didn't even give them anything. You know what I mean? That would justify them being scared of me, or justify them even acting a certain way with me. But they did anyway. And that's what I meant by cowardness. They were never willing to be brave. And this is something that I always talk about. Being brave to speak about your feelings, being brave to share your feelings, being brave to go towards the person you love, being brave to even compliment someone. Because today, people will hold back compliments. And this is something that always happened in my life. People will hold back things thinking that, oh, I receive compliments every time. And mind you, they don't know that I never receive compliments. Like, I don't have people telling me that I'm pretty or stuff like that. And when I do, I'm always so grateful because it's not something that I hear. And most of the time, I don't even believe in it. I'm just like, I don't, because like I said, like, also, I wanted to say, in the witchcraft that she was doing a lot of beauty spells. Like beauty spells to make me look like something, like, and I meant it. Like, I have crazy story about that. Like evil eye, like beauty spell to have like my skin, having problem with my skin. I had problem with my skin for like so long, and oh my god, I have stories about that, but I don't want to get distracted, okay? So let's go back. But beauty spells, that she used to do that on me, and not only her. I know that for a fact. It's not only her making like witchcraft on me. Like there's many other people. This is a gang. This is people who, you know, connect with each other, and sometimes they don't know each other, but they know of each other because they do divination. So they're trying to see who's around me. So when the witchcraft is not working on me anymore, what they do is they target anybody that comes towards me, anybody's perception of me. So the people that could help me don't want to help me. The people don't see any value in me, any beauty in me, anything in me. You know, so I stay by myself, so I don't get and I don't receive the help that I'm supposed to get. Do you understand? They play with people, but these people, they're already weak. That's why this spells works. This energy works because they're already wounded. They're already open. Do you understand? They're already willing to accept. They're already in the energy, and the energy that is similar, and that will make that witchcraft easy to get to them. That's why a lot of people, I know, I'm pretty sure now, like they probably look at me and they don't understand why they didn't give me this opportunity, or why they listened to someone who was telling something about me and they believed in it, and why they didn't come and actually ask me. They would just go and believe whatever is being said, but no one come and actually ask me, Nina, what happened, or actually trying to hear about my version. And I never try to even tell them anything, because I'm like, free will is a thing. And you will, if you listen to my videos, you will know something. I am very aware of that gift that God gave all of us, free will. And that's beauty, and the reason why God gave us free will, it's because there's beauty, there's extreme power and beauty when you understand your free will and you willingly choose God. You willingly say, I choose goodness, I choose the highway, and I choose to let you God handle it. There's beauty in it. The trust and the faith that you willingly put on God, it's something that, do you understand? That I feel it in my energy. That is something that makes God proud when you choose them. Because as a human being, and with the clear understanding that how powerful free will is, I want someone to choose me. So when I understand that all these people, they had the choice to help me, and I asked for them to help me, but they chose not to. It was the thing that I needed to understand. I needed to accept that they chose not to help me. They chose to see me a certain way. They chose to be wicked to me. They chose to go do this witchcraft. They chose to misguide me. They chose to betray me. And when you accept that, it is a very painful truth. But it's also such a blessing, because you want to know. You want to know when someone choose not to choose you. And for a long time, I was the person that was trying like to somehow, I guess, is it trying to change your mind, or probably try to make you see the higher version, the highest path? I don't think I was trying to make people change their mind, but I wanted them to see that, I mean, if you could see the highest version of this situation and the highest path for this situation, you would automatically want to go there, right? And then when I realized that they don't, it's like you see God and you say no. And for me, and I'm laughing, but it's not funny, but it's like, it's something that makes sense to me, but I had to understand and accept that it doesn't make sense for other people. I mean, it makes sense in theory, right? But it was not an easy thing, because these people are so anchored in their fear. And fear is something that I fight every day, willingly. I will feel the fear, I will feel the anxiety, and I will sit on it. I will sit on it. I will take it on, and I will start asking questions. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling triggered? What happened? Do you understand? And I will go into this investigation. It's because I want to understand, and it's truly because naturally I'm curious. And I like to know. I like to know things. And I know God is like trying to tell me, like, you need to sit down and let us do. And it's like, I do, but can you tell me a little bit? Because I don't like to be in a know. I don't like surprises. That's something I always do. I don't like surprises. If you ask me, I don't like surprises. I don't like to be surprised. I like to know, and I know that God just want to surprise me. And it's funny because even though I know stuff, I get surprised all the time. I'm always like, oh my God, you are so wonderful. Or like, wow, I understand why you did it. Oh, you're such a genius. You know what I mean? I always come down to that. But anyway, yeah. I think I'm done with this coward father. I think I was pretty clear, and I hope so. And I hope that it really brings clarity to people. Honestly, the reason why I'm doing this, and I have to put my own life together, because those things were so subtle. I really had to see that it was so subtle. And that's what when they say the devil is in the detail, God is also in the detail. The only reason the devil is in detail is because God is a genius. Do you understand? His will be done. Like, everybody's going to be used. Everybody's going to get that lesson. Everybody's going to get that lesson. You're going to be whooped back to God. No matter how long it's going to take, you will. You will. So that's why because I know the devil is in the detail. I'm that person too. I'm in the detail too. I'm extremely, that's what most of the time, those things are things I couldn't explain to other people, because I knew automatically they would perceive me as like, they will start to gaslight me. And I've also find myself gaslighting myself, because I'm such a thinker, and I'm such someone who's such into detail, and I puzzle things everywhere. I bring pieces, and I will remember a dream that I had years ago, and being able to to take the whatever insight I got from it, and tied up to a situation that I'm going through right now, and see, that's how I function. It's like I utilize everything, and most of it is very internal, but it's also my observation and how people move, they act, the physical is everything, the eyes, the tone, is your behavior, the way that you're not looking at me like all of a sudden when I start showing you another facet of me, because it's just another facet. These people think that I'm only one sided, I'm multi-dimensional. Like, I exist in every plane, in different planes. I'm a lot of things, and I had to accept that myself, right? But I think I was trying to make myself understand, and just to end up accepting that I'm not here to make myself understand that way. Like, it's okay if you don't understand me, because these videos are not going to be for everybody, you know. And I'm not seeking for likes or people to subscribe, because I'm just being obedient. It's gonna serve its purpose. I don't know how, I don't know when, but whoever is gonna find it, they're going to find it. That's why I don't chase people. It's like, I don't chase people. I want people to choose their healing. I want you to choose to follow your intuition when you're being guided to that video. If you don't follow, if you don't click in it, you choose not to listen, it's on you. Do you understand? It's you. It's because you're not ready to listen. You're not ready to go to the next step. That's why I don't force people. I don't force my understanding or anything. I'm just gonna tell you what I've seen, what I've experienced, what I've understand from it, and I'm still learning, always learning, always, constantly, and I'm grateful for that. And I really hope that these videos are helping people to pinpoint all these patterns so they can save yourself. No one is coming to save you, and that's what I've learned from my father, because I waited for people to save me, and I've been in relationships where I wanted to be saved, even in connection that was mostly spiritual, that never got to be physicalized. And this is what I'm learning lately, which is like, I know I don't look like it, but I'm going through a little of a heartbreak. It's not really like a heartbreak, it's mostly like a grief, another level of understanding of something that I already learned. But like I said, you keep moving forward, and you keep learning new things, and you have more deeper insight of the same subject that you thought that you had clarity of. And that's the beauty of this journey, this human journey, right? And I know it's time for me to get out, to show myself, even though I don't like to be seen. And it's a crazy thing, because it's not something that I used to be before. Like, I used to be here, I used to have like a social media, I used to post pictures of me, but like I said, they beat that confidence out of me so much that I started hiding. But this isolation really was God gifted, because He wanted me to listen, to pay attention. And because I was able to do that now, naturally, I listen. I don't argue with God when my spirit team are like, yeah, like, you need to show up and you need to talk. I do it because I know that my obedience saved me. And I know that people who refuse to be obedient to the God voice, when they were supposed to help me or just not go a certain way with me, I know that they are the ones suffering. And this is because of their own free will. And you have to accept it. You did it. You know what you were doing. I refuse to believe that grown-ass people don't know what the hell they are doing when they go to the witch doctor, when they intentionally started gossiping lies and spreading it, when they get the ego boost talking about someone and knowing damn well they're not telling anything truthful. Like, no, like we're not gonna do that. Like, not here, not right here. Like, no, you will be exposed And this is what I'm doing. I'm just exposing what I've been through, and it's simple. I don't have to lie. I don't have to make up stuff. Everything will make sense because it's something that I already experienced and I've had to sit on for years. And it's justice coming back for me, because I endure and I've been patient, and I've never tried to do whatever they did to me, because I've never seen a way that was going to be victorious for me. And I never had it in me. Do you even imagine? Like spending my money and my energy, like cursing people out? I ain't got time. I can cuss you out. I got ugly words for you. And even that, I know it spells too. That's why I'm very careful. Even when I'm angry to these people, my anger was never towards them. Automatically, it was always towards God. And I know it's crazy, but I will turn to God and I will tell you why. Like, you know my heart. Why would you let them do that to me and not warn me before? You know what I mean? Because I felt like, I mean, we got that type of relationship. How you gonna do me like that? Like, you're my homie. Like, you're my homie. You know, I only have you. I have nobody. Like, I can trust no one. But then I know I can trust you. And of course, before, for me, it was like, because I had that type of relationship with God and my spirit guides, my ancestors and the good ones, okay? Because we ain't talking about the people like, because I had that relationship, I would get angry at them, but not understanding at the moment what it was going to bring, the clarity that it was going to bring in the future. And the tool, the skills, the sharpening that it was going to make me, like how it was going to make me so sharp and so much more like in tune with what is going on around me, and accepting that people just, I trigger people, and I have to accept it. Like, it is what it is. And I don't want to be with anybody who don't want to be with me. And I don't want to be with people who pretend to want to be with me when they just want to leech on whatever blessings that comes with me, or whatever comfort that comes with my energy. Because that's what you're going to get with me. I understand you better than you understand yourself. And that was a problem to me, for me. And I had to understand lately, especially even more, that I let myself stay in this fantasy, in this like the fantasy that I created with people's higher self, and all the things that we could do together, and I stayed there. And I mean mostly in romantic connection, spiritual bond that was never physicalized, you know, that stays in the physical. And I understood that I'm over there nurturing a connection, a spiritual bond, and I'm making this person so comfortable that by sending them all this good energy, this goody, this yummy energy, that is not making them brave enough to actually want to come and actually make it happen in the physical, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And this is where I realized that I need to cut my energy, and I need to stop feeding these people and being so understanding that I'm allowing and I'm somehow making them think that it is okay for them to take their time. Take your time. I don't have your time. I'm ready now. I need people that are ready now. I need people that are in my energy now. Not tomorrow, not whenever you know. You stay where you at and you go here, you do whatever you have. I need someone who's ready now. I need my tribe to be ready now, because I'm ready now. And this is what I needed to accept, that I know I always hated people playing with my time. That's why I always do things on my own at the end of the day, because it's like I wait for you to do whatever you say you're gonna do, and then nothing happened. And like I say, it's the disappointment, like the repetitive disappointment, like you're just not showing up, and then I have to be the one showing up for myself again. And I'll do it better than you could even imagine. And it's not that I was never able to, or I thought that you could never do it. I was waiting for you to do it. I was waiting for you to do it with me. But it was never the case. And like I say, it's like me nurturing this thing in physical relationship, but also spiritually, by, you know, in the heart, by my intention, my prayers, or just holding on to that hope that this person is going to find the courage to come and do what they have to do. Because in my situation, I'm a woman, I've been learning how to be in a receptive mode, and this is hard when all my life I had to take care of myself, so I had to be more in the doing and the executing, right? So when God was like, okay, now you've learned, like, now you gotta chill, like, girl, like, we need you to slow down. It was like, huh? But how do I do that? And then multiple different situations taught me the hard way, and also not really the hard way, but what was hard for me is actually having time to rest and not using that time to actually rest. Because I'm like, am I doing enough, God? Like, always, like I said, like, I want to make sure that my connection with God is still there, like, and I have, and it's coming from, like I said, how I was raised. Even with God, my relationship with God, I'm like, am I doing enough, God? Like, do I need to do anything? Like, oh, and I will hear something, and then I will just go the opposite. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe I should be doing more. Like, and you know what I mean? And I see that even my relationship, my personal relationship with God, is like, I want to prove to Him, I want to prove to them that, look, like, I'm doing the work, like, I'm willing, I want to change, I want to be better, I want to be greater, like, I really want to be happy, I really want the best, you know, and I will only take what you give me. And I needed to trust my intuition. I needed to trust that I am close to God, I am close to the divine, and, you know, like, stop gaslighting myself. And I can say that I have arrived. I have arrived. You know, it's funny is that when it's time to not be hesitant, I'm that girl. But when I'm chill, which is my favorite energy to be in, like, when I get to be soft, because it's not something that I really had the opportunity to be in. But when I am soft with myself, and this is not something that I've been with other people. And it's funny because in my relationships in the past, multiple times, I heard from this man that, oh, like, you so soft, like, you so nice. And I'm like, and I always been like so kind of like offended, like, but what do you expect me to be? Because when they first come at me, they have this, like, they see this, like, don't play with me, because I'm gonna tell you right away, I'm not a liar, I don't play with people's emotion, I don't do none of that. If I'm not interested in you, I will tell you real quick, so you don't get, you know, hype up. Like, I will tell you I'm not interested. Now, if you want to bet your life on this shit, it's on you, because the result is always going to be the same with me. I'm still not interested in you. I know that. You understand? But when I know there's something that I need to learn from someone, and there's probably like a connection and an attraction, and I need to figure out this, I will let it happen naturally. So I will let you take that lead until, like I said, you try to drive me into the cliff. But yeah, like, I've had that before. Like, oh, you're so soft. Like, you're so soft. And I'm like, yeah, like, what am I supposed to be? Like, you know? But I always saw their face the moment they realized that I'm capable of that, you know? And then, like I said, they get it completely twisted, and then they think that, oh, and that tells you everything about their essence and who they choose to be, period. Because if I see someone being kind to me and nice to me, like, I would never think, oh, what can I get from this person? How can I manipulate this person to get whatever I want? I would never think like that. You know? And I feel like in this society, people, because their family, your friends, when they get too comfortable, this is when they start being disrespectful, discarding, very unappreciative of your presence. Do you understand? They think it's because it's family, or because you're their friend, or because they know you for a certain amount of time, and because you have shown this softness, that they can just disrespect you, that they can just, like, because they're comfortable, you know, you make them comfortable, so they think that they're entitled of this energy, they're entitled of whatever you're bringing. And this is when they get it twisted. You should never feel so comfortable with the people that are kind to you, because do you know how many kind people just walk the street every day? Not a lot. And for you to not see how rare it is, and how much of a blessing it is, and think that you just can be so comfortable and borderline, like, disrespectful, you know, because, oh, you think this person is not going to go anywhere. You are going to be the one losing, because you have twisted this kindness with them being like a punching ball, like someone that you can just treat it any kind of way. And then you are going to be reminded like the hard way that, yeah, you will lose, and you will never get it back. You will never get it back, because you, as a grown person, you've seen kindness. You were able to identify this person as someone that is kind, that is generous, that is loving, and you chose to kind of humble them by not complimenting. And not that you want people to compliment you, but let me tell you, when you're a real friend, when you're a real person, like you're authentic, you are really about what you say, you're genuine, you mean everything that you say. Complimenting someone, being supportive of someone, wanting to help someone, it is natural. And the fact that we have to be, the fact that we have to clarify what we desire from someone, like we want someone to be kind, it is so crazy to me. It's like, of course you should be, like, isn't it? Being kind comes with like being respectful, being understanding, supportive. Like, isn't it what it comes from, like a healthy friendship, a healthy relationship? Like, I don't know. And I always been so conflicted and confused about how people move. How do you think it is normal to see someone that is innocent, that is pure, and see them as someone that is stupid and naive, and right away feel like, what can I gain from this person? You're already gaining from this person. You're already gaining loving energy, homing energy. And but this is also boosting your ego in all the wrong way, and you think that this energy is yours. This is what narcissists do, right? It's like narcissists, and they have to go steal energy. They can only portray this like divine energy because they're copying from someone who's actually divine. So what they're copying is from the exterior, right? And they don't understand that this is an energy, this is a frequency. They were able to identify that because they felt it. But the ego and the pain and whatever dark within that already took over, made them want to steal whatever they can steal from them. Like, it could be like the way this person speak, their slang, their whatever comes with this person, you know what I mean, their persona. They will steal that, and then they will go in places where this person is not there, and they will pretend to be that person, that divine person, that chosen one, whatever you want to call it. I hate labels anyway, but like the godly person, right? I do love God, so I will say godly. They will pretend to be this godly person in the crowd where in a crowd full of also narcissists who also stole from other people. It's funny, like that's how I see them. It's like they go steal from other people, IDs, persona, character, everything that they could steal, right? Embody this, put on this mask, and then they go and they hee ha ha and kya among each other, a bunch of thieves and liars and hypocrites, like boasting about things that they stole, acting like they are the originator. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. I've seen that happening to me all my life. Like people stealing my like, is it stiletto? Like my style, whatever, and then pretend that I'm not here, I'm not there, or I never said it. And in my face, like literally in my face, like I will have a conversation with someone and I will tell them about something. Then I know, I'm not stupid. I know that I said something that you never heard before. And I know I brought some type of clarity that you never had before. And you know what? The same person will come the following week, and then they will say exactly what I said, but they will say that they heard it from someone else. Just not to give me credit. But these people, they still have to come get things from me, services from me, whatever I'm willing to share, because I'm always willing to share until I'm not. And you're about to find out this shit. But I'm always going to share. I cannot help being who I am, because I don't care about, I really don't care. I don't care about what you think of me anymore. Like, I really don't care. And I, anyway, but do you understand what I mean? It's like they will display all this, acting like you were not the originator, acting like you were not the one who said it in your face, like so many times. And I can tell you, even from grown-ass people, grown, older than me, I will come with a level of wisdom that they were never able to tap in. And at the same moment, I will see the energy shift. And this is the moment they realize that, oh, she knows shit. She's not what I thought she was. But then they gonna hide that. And then they gonna start despiting me. Like, it's like they have a hatred over, like a dislike. And they don't hate me, they don't dislike me, but they hate the fact that they were not the one who came up with this wisdom, who came up with this enlightenment, or with this insight, sorry. Because wisdom is not something that I can claim for myself, right? But like, do you understand what I mean? And it's crazy. It's like their attitude will change towards me all of a sudden. And that I had that multiple times, different people, all of them. No matter the age, the gender, it's always about them changing their attitude. And I know it was all part of like me learning, and also being brave enough to not accept it and choose not to entertain them. Do you understand? And I will share, like I said, I will share what I need to share, and those who are meant to find it because they're following their inner voice, the God within them, God, the divine guidance, they will find it. I'm not gonna press any issue. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm not gonna ask you to follow me. I don't care. Like, I don't care about none of that. I really don't. I just want to say what I have to say because I know I'm there for that. And I will end this video by saying words that my grandma, a grandma from my father's side, someone that I've never met in life, she came into my dream before I moved to California when I needed to do another quantum jump. I needed to trust again and start over, because I've done that many times in my life. And I will probably come with some stories about how I've been kind of everywhere. I had different lives in the same life. But she said to me, because I was looking for confirmation before I moved in California, and she said to me, stand your ground, tell the truth, and don't be scared. And I lived by these words every day, because that's what I've been doing. I've been standing my ground, and I've been telling the truth, and I've been fighting fear all day, every day, all my life. And I will keep continuing feeling fear. It's normal. It's a normal thing, anxiety and everything. The thing is that you don't want this to be the cause of you missing out on life, missing out on love. And I want to leave. I want to be happy. And I want people to leave and be happy too, because I swear, God, guys, you guys have no idea. Time is counted. You don't have time. Time is not yours. Time is not your best friend, and time is not your enemy either. And I said that many times to people. You need to be grateful to what is being given to you, and whatever you can do with this time, this moment that is being given to you, do what you have to do to save your life. Hold on to God, and do not take revenge on people. Let God do it, man, because he's such a master at it. You will have pity for the people that are about to get their karma. I swear, you will. You will, because you know what you had to go through when you were by yourself. So, yeah, stand your ground, tell the truth, and don't be scared. Yeah. All right, I think I'm done.